Hi, welcome to the second lesson in this introduction to the circular economy. Today I want to look at the schools of thought that make up the circular economy, and hopefully we'll discover how much thinking's gone into to making this concept, this framework, come to life. I think also there's a realisation that the circular economy, because it embraces all of this very powerful thinking, is an umbrella that is the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts. So today we're just going to go through each one and look at some of the examples of the key schools of thought. Start with the blue economy. Blue economy from Gantapuli is a initiative that looks at cascading both energy systems and also has done some fantastic work in cascading biological material. The cascading of coffee grounds to grow mushrooms, and then those coffee grounds are used to as a feedstock for livestock. So a real ability to start to create industry at a local level as well. The next one is the performance economy by Walter Stahl. A great example of this is term 2 from the architect Thomas Rowell. This company has been set up to take material, to decouple material from our economy. So just sell the performance. Thomas Rowell has convinced Philips, the large lighting company, to sell him lux and nothing else. And so by that, he is pushing back onto Philips the responsibility of the material within the product and also the energy use, because they pay the energy bill. So Philips is now responsible for looking at how they recover that material. They obviously need to innovate to make it more efficient and last longer. So instead of a short-term model, they're much more interested in a long-term, high-quality model. And Turn 2 is able to facilitate this within the spaces that they lease out. Cradle to Cradle by William McDonough and Michael Braungart. Massive contributors to the circular economy thinking. They brought about the idea of the biological cycle and separating it from the technical cycle, and I think that's really been a leverage point for the thinking around the business model that arises from it. They've just published Upcycle, and that's in an attempt to say that we can actually move products to a higher performance and make them do even more for us. And a good example of that is Dezo, the carpet company, where they have taken a product, a material, and added an extra function to it where it purifies the air. And I believe airlines are using that fabric. And it's still in a circular economy model, and it has that extra performance. So they have also a competitive advantage. Industrial ecology, looking at how large industrial processes can feed into each other. Famous example is Kalundborg in Denmark, where you have an electric coal-powered power station at the centre of it, and from that you extract all of these resources and you cascade them through these different sectors. I think industrial ecology really starts to drive the cross-sector and cross-chain collaboration required for a circular economy at scale. Permaculture came out of Australia, and ecologists in Australia looking at how agriculture was destroying the environment or the ecology of the system, and working out a way where they could coexist without that destruction. Really important part of fibre and food production in the future will be this model, where we see the way of reducing water consumption and cycling nutrients through the natural system. Biomimicry, nature as a model, nature as a measure, and nature as a mentor. And what biomimicry brings to the circular economy is an understanding of scale and where to act within the system. From looking at the biosphere right down to the leaf of a plant, we get an idea of, if we look at nature, where nature has succeeded in its model. One of the key parts there is that efficiency at the systems level is much more effective than efficiency at the parts level. And I'll come to that in another lesson as well. Collaborative consumption, one of the latest parts of the thinking to come out, really looking at how material can be shared through our economy in different guises. So looking at how material can cascade through our economy when it's no longer useful to one user and can be passed to another. Or in the fact of Airbnb, where we might have excess space and we haven't had a mechanism to make that functionable or generate income off it. Airbnb has allowed that through technology. Sharing bicycle schemes in cities, looking at that social mechanism where a large organisation like a city council can leverage on the sharing idea and actually generate more revenue or certainly more economic activity by doing something like that. One of the interesting ones to come out is from out of Sydney 2Share, really looking at sharing. The platform allows people to share, but for the cost of the courier. So that need of picking something up or meeting someone is reduced, and it allows you to put it on. It creates a marketplace. And what it's been able to do is it's been able to tap into that huge capacity of logistics. And I think that's another thing that the circular economy, in terms of reverse logistics, will be leveraging as well. Regenerative design, looking at how the system and even components can regenerate themselves. I think this has got an interesting sort of part to it that's emerged in the last few years, and that's 3D printing and digital fabrication and self-assembly. The idea that we have mechanisms that can build themselves, they can maintain themselves, and we're looking at that whole mechanism of regenerating or maintaining the system by itself. So this space, I think, is really taken off with some high-tech innovations. That's a really brief, quick introduction to the schools of thought of the circular economy, and I hope that you get an idea of that each one of these, they cross over at certain points, and that's why the circular economy pulls from them, is that they all offer something to the greater model or the systems thinking approach that the circular economy buys into. In the next lesson, we're going to look at the definition of the circular economy and the circular economy principles. And I hope you can join me then. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you.